So here we are starting the morning session at Upper North Wark. It is the 1st of March and I am drawn on the islands, which is this stream down through the left bank and into the dub at the bottom, which I'll be fishing in the afternoon. Looks like a good height, and I am told that there are various good lies in this stream, so let's give it a go. So I've just finished the top section of the islands behind me. I've got about another, let's call it 200 yards more to go back down to the hut and the foot of the island. There's various different little pots and streams, little sub pools that make up this left bank side of the island, so quite a few different little bits to try and different depths to fish, etc, etc. I've been fishing with the usual Skagit with 10 foot of T14, and this time a 3/4 inch willy gun, just for a change from the posh tosh that's had its fair share of time in the water this season so far. So nothing doing at the top section. The gilly says that the best section is the bit between the cables, unsurprisingly, and the tree, which you can probably just make out on the far bank behind me. There's a deeper channel there with a few rocky lies in it that did feel good. But nothing doing, just slowed down for that section, gave it a good cover, and then moved on down through this section just in here. It kind of spoils around slightly where the river pushes between a gap in the islands just here. So I've come out, I'm going to give it a change over to a home tide monkey-ish style fly, and I will swing that through the sections downstream of me, which look a bit slower and possibly with a bit more depth. So let's see what we can do here. Here we are at the lower section of the islands. This little corner in particular feels really nice just as you approach the hut, as the pool goes down into Wark Dub. This corner here, you cast across into that slower water on the left bank next to the stairs and the overhang tree. There's a really good sense of anticipation just as it swings around in there, so I'm going to keep going.
When speaking to the gillies later, I was told that this side of the island generally needs a decent bit of water for fish to run this way. Otherwise, a rock spine in the pool below guides fish onto the other side of the island and to run through if there isn't enough water holding them back. When the water's right, fish are caught from right in front of the hut from both sides of this stream. On the day, this crease was one of the fishiest casts that I covered, with rocky lies lying midstream, giving the fish some shelter from the foam. Before lunch, there was time for a cast on the other side of the island into the top of the Wark Dub pool as it pushes down the right bank of the island. a square cast with a downstream mend and working the fly around felt really promising in here. Lunchtime now, and a good view down from above the hut onto the Wark dub pool where we'll be fishing from the boat in the afternoon. Fishing again with my stopgap spinning gear after my usual setup was stolen from my car, second theft from my vehicle in 2 years. We made our way down the Wark dub pool, covering the good looking boils pretty thoroughly.
Slightly only a shallower water to the left.
Yeah.
It only takes one to go fast, that's it.
How come when I go wild felling, there's never any geese at Tyningham, but when I go salmon fishing nowhere near the coastline, there's geese everywhere?
Gilbert, Gilbert lives here. Lives in this island. He's going to sell a girlfriend in the last few weeks. Gilbert came last year
Yeah?
and then just said, oh, I like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sits here.
We had a final go at the rocky spine lie at the tail of the island before 5 PM and then made our way back up to the hut. And so that was that from up north Wark on the 1st of March. Had a good fly session in the morning on the island streams, followed by a good session with the spinning gear, the Vision 110s from the boat with the Gilly Lee in Wark dub in the afternoon. Nothing doing. One of the other rods did have a 24 pounder on a repel in the snipe pool just before lunchtime, so that's great that the beat's off the mark for the season, especially with, I think, what is the biggest fish off Tweed so far. 24 pounds for a springer is obviously pretty big these days, so that's great, and I'll definitely be going back to up north Wark again. That is a very good diverse bit of water, with a gilly team who really know what they're doing, so I'll definitely be back there again. And for the time being, next 2 weeks I don't have any fishing planned and have other engagements, sadly. And then on the 22nd of March I'm at Lees, and then 29th of March I'm at Rutherford. So some more good fishing coming up in March, and fingers crossed for a springer.